In the beginning. How did anything ever come out of nothing? If there was only consciousness in the beginning, that is, nothing to speak of, then how did things get going? This is perhaps the deepest mystery to humanity, and one that we will now explore. Unfortunately, it is difficult, possible but challenging, to put yourself in a position whereby you might be able to truly grasp the reality in the beginning before anything existed. By this I mean that as creative human beings today, there is collectively a lot of experience and therefore a lot of information in the human psyche to work with so that new ideas can emerge from which an intention for a particular experience might then arise. In the very beginning, however, there was none of this. No experience, no information to draw upon at all, and consequently, no opportunity for any kind of idea to form. To apply the creative process that you have now learned about, how then did the universe begin if there were no ideas to intend into existence? Remember, every conscious creative act starts with strong desire and clear intention. So, without any idea to intend in the beginning, the only intention of consciousness possible was to simply be itself. This is the initiating cause of creation, the beginning of our universe. It is now extremely important to understand the next few paragraphs. We are on the cusp of the creation of everything we know. Fundamentally, what must be seen, understood and accepted now is that the powerhouse of creation is the movement of energy. And, as a self-aware creature born of these movements, you have the capacity to feel and know about it through your own experience of living. It is a unique and intended feature of this self-awareness to be able to feel, identify with, and utilize these powerful movements of energy to be the creative individual that you are. Understanding how the universe works is not exclusively an intellectual undertaking, and for us to think that we might discover the whole truth of it by theoretical pursuits alone is an approach that will never get us over the line. The universe came into existence long before humans in their theoretical approaches to understanding it did. Yes, the disciplines of mathematics and theoretical physics can help give us a language to talk about energy, make predictions, and develop technologies accordingly, but they are not the movements themselves. Let's now examine the initiating cause of original creation in your own experiential understanding of energy. Have you ever had the experience of feeling a desire to be or do something, but have no idea what it might be exactly? The feeling I'm talking about is a general sensation, an inner urge, impulse or movement, the excitement or stirring of possibility, but with no specific information or idea associated with it. Perhaps you have, perhaps you have not. But this is the closest human experience of the power of consciousness intending without a specific idea that I can offer. The feeling is the registration of the intention of consciousness in your body to simply be the totality of what it is as an urge or desire for you to explore your own unknown potential. The feeling is expansive. That's it. That's the beginning of the universe. It is difficult, however, for us to comprehend or really appreciate what this initiating dynamic of expansion is or was at the time. We are now beings in bodies experiencing life in time and space, and we are well used to the idea that expansion means something getting bigger. But in the beginning, there was only consciousness, and so consciousness expanding does not really mean getting bigger, because it cannot ever be or get bigger than itself. Rather, it speaks to a movement, and that movement is a continuous and multi-directional flow of energy out from a non-local or arbitrary place within. To give it a shape would be to see it as an emanation from a point as a radiating effect. Now, from the observations by cosmologists over the years, some have deduced that the universe appears to be expanding and have hypothesized that there must be some form of yet unknown energy that is responsible for this expansion. The name that has been given to this mysterious force is dark energy, and that's about the extent of the understanding. Yet now it is possible to see that this hypothesized dark energy is the reality of consciousness intending, which is the force that drives and sustains the eternal development of the universe. Therefore, the nature of universal intention, seen in a quantum mechanical paradigm, is something that sets an invitation for its reality to manifest somewhere, sometime, which means in space-time. Yet, as quantum mechanics will tell us, and as we also discovered from our making a cake analogy, nothing is ever going to happen and nothing will ever come to be unless or until attention is given to the matter. The force of attention, in its original and pure state, is one that comes about as an immediate, equal and opposite reaction to the expansive nature of intention. Just as intention can be seen as a movement of energy radiating out from a point, attention is the exact opposite of that, a focus, contracting or concentrating movement towards that point of radiation. It is important to note that there is no separation between the emergence of these two opposing forces, and in fact, it could equally be seen and said that in the beginning it was the focus of energy from consciousness that created the expansion of eternal possibility. Either way, what we can extract from this situation is that the force of intention and the force of attention are directly related and representative of equal and opposite principles. Together, these two principles coexist and overlay each other as one inseparable reality, and it was this attention to the matter that resulted in the creation of something, the first thing. By using the term attention to the matter, I am of course using a common expression for the fun of it, but the use of the expression to describe the situation is not entirely correct. A more accurate description would be that it was attention to the intention that created what we now name as the matter which forms the basis of our existence. This focus of attention, the contraction or movement towards a point as an immediate, equal and opposite reaction to consciousness intending, now defines and describes the beginning universe as having a very specific structure that is fundamentally important to understand. The existence of this structure and how it forms is the missing link that resolves many, if not all, of the mysteries pertaining to creation theory, from the grand scale of universal structure through to the microscopic scale of atomic composition. At a humanitarian level, it is through understanding this structure that we can come to see the reason for our emergence as creative beings and the ensuing cause of dysfunction in the world. This then creates the opportunity for us to see clearly and confidently implement an ultimate solution to the problem. The specific structure that had emerged and will always emerge as a result of consciousness intending, focusing, has a name. It is called a firmament. And the ancient meaning of this word, and the meaning I ascribe to it now and throughout the remainder of this work, is that the firmament is the substratum, basis, or foundation of creation. In the next section, we look at the firmament in great detail to reveal what it is and what it causes.